Guys, we royally messed up. So, Teton's behind us, made it to Jenny Lake, squeezed in this ridiculous parking spot. So now we're gonna go hike for, was it like 9 miles, something like that? Got coffee. We're gonna try and make glacier coffee with glacier water. Should be pretty epic. Let's go. So we would drop it from 9 to 4.
Let's
like
see
that.
what time the last ferry run is.
All right. Make it 5 minutes down the trail. I already stopped and got some awesome photos. That's a photo here. And already out of breath. It's the first time doing this with all this gear too. So we decided not to do the ferry for the first go. Hopefully we can get a ferry ride way back. But this morning seemed a little bit more adventurous. All right, Jenny Water Lake, or flowing into, what's the name of this falls? Hopefully we turn this into coffee. Let's go. How far did we hike?
3.5 miles.
Hiked already about 3 to 4 miles. Got about 7 more to go, and we're already sucking wind pretty hard, but the views are insane. We're trying to run through it a little bit to get there before it gets dark and back. But yeah, you got your first blister yet?
Yeah, I got it.
All right, that's step 1 of the trail. Any trail. Yeah, we got bandages. Trip's first blister casualty. To your toe too? Toe and blister.
I'm dying right now.
But, as you said, we burned 1,000 calories.
Yeah, here's a tip. Always buy your hiking boots a half size bigger.
Why is that?
Because they hurt my feet.
Like a little Dunkin'. Grand Tetons. Oh, this smells so good. Do we have a spoon or anything, or are we just going for it? Or just dump some in?
Yeah.
That's probably like a cup. That's maybe like 2. Alright, we put the lid on. Let it chill. Or percolate, something. Let it brew for a second. And we'll put on the rest of this guy. So it comes with French press. This goes in here, that in the lid, stomp it down. Coffee.
That was good.
Yes. Also, partake when all else fails. Jet boil, pack of noodles, good to go. Beef jerky.
Yeah. I'm gonna rinse this out. Brought a bag to put these in. I'm gonna fill up this and this other one will be ready to go.
All right, leaving Solitude Lake back there after a solid 9.5 mile hike. You can take the ferry for sure. That'll save you a couple miles, which is awesome. I think it's like 18 bucks all the way around. Pay off at the end. Definitely keep doing that trail. It's worth it. There's tons of rock scrambles, which are pretty crazy. Let's bring that up. You go over bridges, rocks, elevation gain. Very, very, very cool hike. Also, we are definitely the last people on the trail right now, so it is a mad dash to beat the sun. This should be interesting. We gotta go. Like a ferry, but by the time we get there,
So what was supposed to be a very easy and scenic hike at Grand Teton National Park turned into a difficult 20-mile hike, and although the trail is moderate to difficult, it was also made more difficult by us being ill-prepared. And we wanted to talk about that with you guys to kind of give you some tips and help you make sure that you are more prepared when you go and take this hike. First thing, this hike consists of the Valley Trail. It's 2.4 miles. It goes around Jenny Lake, and then once you get to the end of that hike, there's two cool things that you can see, which is Inspiration Point. It's like an overlook, and then if you hike off of the trail path about 200 or 300 meters, there's the Hidden Falls. If you continue on the trail, that's the Cascade Canyon Trail, and that is 4.5 miles. Once you finish on that trail, there's a fork, and if you go right, that's the Lake Solitude Trail. That's 2.7 miles, and that gets you to the third thing that you really want to see at Grand Teton National Park, which is Lake Solitude. It's really beautiful. It's a good stopping point to have lunch before you go back down the trail. Where we messed up on this is that you can either hike the 2.4 miles around Jenny Lake, total going over and back. That's going to add 5 miles to your trip, making a about 20-mile round trip hike. Or you can take the boat ferry across and back. It's 18 bucks.
Yeah, $18 per adult, totally worth it.
Right.
Definitely recommend if you're short on time or if you're not a very experienced hiker, take the ferry across. It's gorgeous and it's worth the money.
Right. So we didn't do that because I was thinking, okay, I've run a marathon. It's not a big deal. We can hike 20 miles. It is a big deal because there's a lot of climbing. So if you are not an advanced hiker, just spend the money, take the ferry so that you
100%.
are only hiking about 14 to 15 miles instead of 20. If you're an advanced hiker and you can start as soon as the sun comes up, then go ahead and do that.
That was the other thing that we wish we would have done, and you'll see we were chasing the light. It was literally the sun was setting on us as we were leaving. So if you can, get there as early as you can for two reasons. It'll let you finish the hike on time, and you'll get a better parking spot. We got super lucky with our parking spot because our car is very tiny. We were able to squeeze in there, but we got there super late.
Yeah, we got there about 10:30, so parking was hard, and then we started too late, especially since we were doing the entire trail. So when we got up to Lake Solitude, that was about 3 o'clock. We spent an hour there. We left at 4. The problem was we were the last people on the trail, and we were a bit terrified because there's less noise and more animals are coming out. So it was just a little bit scary. So we ended up jogging down the mountain as much as we could. So our mistakes we are not advanced hikers, and we opted to do the longest trail, and we shouldn't have. So if you're not an advanced hiker, just take the ferry. Another mistake that we made was not leaving early enough and not coming back down the mountain early enough, because we had to jog to not get stuck in the woods by ourselves in the dark. We did end up making it, but that's because we jogged most of the time.
There was zero light. We were the last people out of the park. We actually got congratulated for making it from everybody else who had just finished, but it was pitch black outside, which is not ideal, especially when Grand Tetons does have bears. We had our bear spray, we were good to go, but we're literally, "Hey bear!" yelling down the trail, making sure that bears aren't coming after us. We also saw a bunch of fresh bear droppings all over the trail, as if they were saying hello in the worst way possible, that were fresh. So anytime we got a flat surface, we booked it. We ran as fast as we could until we got to a rocky terrain where we couldn't really run, and then we were kind of speed jogging, if you will.
Another mistake that I made was that I chose fashion over function. I hiked 20 miles in these stylish Kodiak leather boots.
So cute.
And they are not meant for hiking 20 miles. I ended up basically being in complete pain the entire way. So I got up to mile 5 when my feet, I could feel the blisters coming in. And we did have first aid, but it was just bandages, so we could have had blistered band-aids and we completely forgot about that. But I ended up tearing up my feet, and we had to go after that to REI to get some actual functional boots.
So we stopped by REI in Bozeman, and they recommended actually a pair of Merrells on sale. I also wear a pair of Merrells. We're not sponsored by this brand, but they just work. My feet weren't really torn up that bad. I have a couple minor blisters, but the back of her heels were just destroyed. So we got some second skin, we got some new boots.
Yeah, so don't make a dumb mistake like me. Just choose function over fashion when you're hiking. So those are the mistakes we made. Things that you should make sure that you bring with you for this hike, or really if you're doing any hiking at all in this area of Wyoming, and then if you go to Montana, is make sure you have a filter system. There's plenty of stops along the way to get water and filter it. That is extremely important. Have a good first aid kit, and then make sure you have bear spray on hand, because that was very important for us coming down by ourselves.
A couple of pro tips: get your bear spray at Walmart or somewhere like that. As soon as you walk in, you'll save yourself about $20. You can rent bear spray, but it's better to kind of have one just in case you're doing a multiple day trip.
Or traveling across states. It's cheaper to get it at Walmart.
The other thing I can highly recommend is the Sawyer Squeeze. Not sponsored by Sawyer at all, but it's a great product that we used for the very first time. And you literally take a bottle of water, anything that you can find at a convenience store with the standard cap, and it screws right into the filter, and you can fill that bottle up, once it's empty obviously, with dirty water and squeeze it in, and it filters it immediately. You don't have to wait for iodine pills. It's a fantastic product. You can get it on Amazon probably for around 30 bucks or so. And we'll leave all the links to the descriptions of the products that we're talking about in the comments below. So if anybody has any additional information about the Cascade Canyon Trail, Jenny Lake, feel free to leave that in the comments section below. If you found this information helpful, make sure to give us a like. That really does matter. And subscribe if you have not already. We made it 3.5 miles. We have about 7 more to go.
No.
Right? 4.5 plus 2.5, 7.
Yeah, about 6.
Take 2. Scene. Inspiration Lake. Back that way. What's it called? Solitude. Inspiration Point. I can't do this with the wind. Yeah, Inspiration Point. Dang it. All right, let's try again. Let me know if you're peeing, because I'm going to turn the camera off.
Yeah, we'll go in a second.